Welcome to Centenary College. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Holoman, and it's my honor and privilege to serve as the 31st president. This is a great day. This is a great day in the life of Centenary College. In the long life of Centenary College, as you know, we're already planning for our bicentennial in 2025. This past year, we celebrated our 110th anniversary, or actually it's still this year, our 110th anniversary in the city of Shreveport. We were privileged on Founders Day for John Atkins to share a great story. Still, as I said that day, I think the best title of the talk at Centenary since I've been here. I think how war, pestilence, and tectonic plates brought Centenary to Shreveport. And it was a very educational talk. I have quoted from it repeatedly. Obviously, the Atkins and Crawford family do have a long history with the college, are extremely faithful supporters. This gift that we're celebrating today will transform the business school. And the business school, the Frost School of Business, is one of the cornerstones of Centenary and is one of our areas of growth. This gift today will allow the Dean of the Frost School of Business, now the William Atkins Dean of the Frost School of Business, to provide essential leadership as we move into the future. We know that we've got a lot of work to do. The business environment moves very quickly, and business training has to move quickly to adapt to that. The resources that this gift will provide will make that kind of leadership possible. I am really, really grateful. I can't thank the family enough. I hope you agree with me that this will be a lasting tribute, and we will remember this in perpetuity. I'm really honored to introduce, if you haven't had a chance to meet her yet, the first Atkins Dean, Dr. Elaine LeBach, who joined us in July or August? July, coming to us from Fort Lewis University in Colorado, and she has already begun the process of moving us forward into the next part of the 21st century and re-envisioning business training at Centenary. So I would like to turn it over to Dr. LeBach for a few words.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please forgive my notes. When I get really excited and pumped, I tend not to talk in complete sentences. This will help keep me on track. First of all, I'm really humbled and honored and very excited to be part of the position of the first or the initial William J. Atkins Dean Endowment for the Frost School of Business at Centenary College. And I can't thank the family enough for their gracious and generous gift. Many years ago, when I was in the 6th grade, I remember my aunt teaching me how to do accounting for her real estate business. And it was at that point I really focused on going into business. And over the many, many years, well, I started when I was 10. And over the many, many years that I've been in business, I've always been fortunate to have a really solid vision of the future as well as the support and mentors along the way that would help me. And so I view this as similar to the past. It's a new beginning. We start each journey of 1,000 miles with one step, and I view that this endowment is a crucial first step for the Frost School of Business to provide that vision for what the Frost School can be and to provide the support that's needed so that it can achieve that vision. And it's just so exciting, and I just think this is like a once-in-a-lifetime moment. And I just kind of want to soak it all up. So I guess in closing, what I'd like to say is I think of the amount of change that we have to do as there's a famous quote that says something about the first step toward change is hard, and then in the middle it gets messy, but at the end it's gorgeous. And so I like to think of the William J. Atkins Dean Endowment as just a gorgeous and gracious gift that will enable the Frost School of Business to make the changes that it needs and be the premier school of business in northern Louisiana. Thank you.
Before I turn this over to John Atkins to make some remarks, I would be remiss if I didn't note a couple of people that, several people that have been instrumental in maintaining the momentum of the Frost School of Business over the last few years. Obviously, our Provost and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Jennifer Ward, has provided amazing leadership. The faculty of the Frost School of Business and staff of the Frost School of Business that are here. Not here is Dr. Harold Christensen, who has gone off into retirement, and, but he served as acting dean in the last year, and really provided leadership in an unnamed capacity prior to that. So thanks to all of you all for holding the ship together and until the new dean arrived, and we look forward to continuing to benefit from their wisdom for many years, except for some people, Betsy, who will join Harold in retirement here after this semester. But so we're building from a great base, and we're excited about how we move forward. Obviously, again, today is special and such a great opportunity to recognize and celebrate the long relationship of the Atkins and Crawford families with the college. So with that, I turn it over to John Atkins.
Thank you, Dr. Holoman. Thank you all for coming today. We appreciate you all being here, and thank you to the college for allowing us to memorialize our father by endowing the deanship for the Frost School of Business. On behalf of my sister Allison, my sister Susanna, my brother Will, and my mother Ruth, we appreciate your graciousness in this regard.
And Lindsay.
And my wife, Lindsay. Good point. Always. Now, Ruth sends her regrets, but it was her birthday yesterday, so she had a birthday lunch and a birthday dinner and then a birthday lunch this afternoon. So she was kind of, believe it or not, my mom was evented out and couldn't make it. Yeah, it's a rare occasion, but she sends her regards as well. You know, for my father, Centenary College has always been a very important part of our community. He always enjoyed Centenary, recognized the importance of it. Growing up right up the road on Gladstone, it was always part of his life. So we're honored to have this opportunity to represent him in this way. You know, it was important to Dad that our family was linked to the college for over 110 years now. You all know the story of our great-grandfather and how he was able to grow an attractive business in central Louisiana, and then as things turned challenging in his business world, he was able to get a fresh start on a separate patch of land south of what was then downtown Shreveport, that he was able to work with the trustees of Centenary College, then in Jackson, Louisiana, and convince them to come up here, and in exchange for 40 acres and enough money a pledge to help raise enough money to build 4 buildings, the trustees of Centenary College moved up here. Centenary got a fresh start, and our great-grandfather got a fresh start, and that he was then able to use Centenary College as the cornerstone for what's now the Gladstone area development that got him back on his feet after a tough run in the agricultural and mercantile space. If you want to hear that story, I'd be happy to share it with you. Lindsay said, "Don't take us through that again." That's the Clip Notes.
I think we still have it taped on the website. We'll send a link.
But there's going to be a common name here, John B. Atkins. That John B. Atkins, the one who moved from Lake End, Louisiana to Shreveport, died in 1923. And he was on the board of Centenary College from the time the college moved up here until his death. Shortly after his death, another John B. Atkins, our grandfather, including the Crawford's grandfather, took a seat on the Centenary board, and he served until 1954, when he died, unfortunately, in a tragic airplane crash with 12 other Shreveport businessmen. And his memory is reflected in one of the 12 oak trees that are planted along Centenary Boulevard on the west edge of campus. So upon his death, a third John B. Atkins, that gentleman right up there, took took our grandfather's place on the board, and he served on the board for 24 years. His mark is seen at the Atkins Gate, which he helped to facilitate through his financial generosity, as well as some other capital investments in the athletic arena of the campus. And then when John B. Atkins, who was, I'm going to call him the third, but he was called Junior at the time, when he passed in 1978, the Crawford's mother, my aunt Caroline Atkins Crawford, came onto the board and served for a number of years until Edward J. Crawford III took her seat 29 years ago. And I'm assuming, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I think Ed is our most tenured board member, although I can't state that with certainty, because there may be one that's more tenured than Ed. He's certainly been around and made his contributions to the college. So Centenary College has always been very important to our family through the generations. It's been a symbiotic relationship. We've benefited from the college, and hopefully the college has gotten a little bit from us as well. So when I came back home in around 2002, I remember being at the office, and Ed and Dad were talking about the challenges of engaging Centenary College in the business community. It used to be, back in the day, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you had corporate headquarters here in Shreveport. You had bank headquarters, you had pipeline companies headquartered here, and you had oil and gas companies headquartered here. And through those relationships with those corporate presidents and CEOs, Centenary had a certain benefit. But as time changed and the corporate boardrooms tended to congregate into the bigger communities like Dallas and Fort Worth, and Houston, Shreveport found itself a little light on corporate boards. So we needed something to take the place of that former relationship. And so my father and Ed brainstormed that, hey, I mean, it's not rocket science. It's obvious that the businesses here in our community are all family-owned businesses. And so it was determined that it was necessary to link Centenary up with these family-owned businesses. And that was the seed for the Centenary family-owned business, which has now been in operation for over a decade and serves an important link between Centenary College and a couple dozen family-owned businesses here in our community. So that was very important to Dad. The college as a whole was important to him, the history was important to him, but the business school was really important to him. So when this opportunity came up to link Dad to the business school through the endowment of the deanship, we saw that as a wonderful opportunity. The family came together and decided that was something we wanted to support. So we're very honored to have this opportunity to have this positive reflection on our father, and we appreciate you all being here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here for me. I think Ed was the only person in the room when I was interviewing for this job, and one of the questions was, why did I want to come to Centenary? And one of the reasons was the appeal of coming to an institution almost 200 years old with such deep roots in the community, and to having been here for 2 years, a little bit more now, and getting to know the families and the stories has just been amazing. And this, obviously the tangible results of that we celebrate today are important, but just the ethos and the spirit are even more important. And so when we're done here in a few minutes, I encourage you to look around. You know most of the people up here on the wall. We have several of them in the room. I see Linus, your picture up there, welcome. What a great place to celebrate such a wonderful legacy of support that the Atkins family is such an important part of. So thank you once again. John, you want to come back up and we'll I guess make this official?
Okay. These left-handed pens?
Centenary. I asked somebody, said, please scratch them, make sure they were. So,
There we go, this one's ready to go. We ready?
we're ready.
we can.
Whenever I have to sign something official, County Whittington always makes me do 2 so she can pick the best one.
There we are, sir.
We're done.
Thank you very much.